internet, it's Jessica and Baby. Today we are going to be reacting to a video. Now I'm going to be starting a playthrough on Tekken 8, and I know a lot of people have told me, you know, it's beginner friendly, it's okay that you didn't play the other games and stuff like that. But knowing me, I like to know the lore of the game, and considering I don't know anything about this game, I figured maybe it'd be good to react to a couple of videos on the story of Tekken, so from the first game to the 7th game, so I can understand what is going on and also like understand the characters that I will be playing as. That being said, let's start off with this video. It is the complete storyline of Tekken 1 to 7.
The trouble starts with Heihachi Mishima deciding to throw his 5-year-old son, Kazuya, off a cliff as a test of strength, and to ensure he is worthy of inheriting the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Damn, that's a little extreme.
Businesses, the only credentials you need are your birth certificate.
Those eyebrows, though.
Here. This is nepotism done right. Fortunately, the fall activates Kazuya's devil gene, which saves him and allows him to climb back up the cliff and begin a life of fighting all over the world.
Okay, so wait, he has a devil... Okay, he has a devil gene. That's, you know, I really didn't think Tekken was going to be anything like this. What I was thinking was more like a realistic approach, if that makes any sense, but it's a fighting game. I should have seen that coming.
And always winning. Until one day when he draws
the heck is that guy?
with Paul Phoenix, an American who rides a motorbike.
That dude looks like Palmera from JoJo.
Father for throwing his son off a cliff, but there's a lighter side to his parenting style.
What? You know, at this point, I should not be surprised. I played Yakuza, and Saejima fought like a bear, Kiryu fought a tiger, you know. Ichiban fought a giant shark, so I guess dancing bears is normal?
He also adopted Lee, simply to annoy Kazuya. Now that he's making waves, Heihachi wants to test his son again, but Kazuya is unlikely to agree to another cliff toss. Instead, the King of Iron Fist tournament is announced in order to bait him out. Fighters from all over the world assemble to compete, including Jack, the USSR's latest super slaughtering, super killing military machine.
Oh, what the? Oh, so there's even androids too.
May or may not.
Yeah, this is definitely not realistic.
Anna Williams accuses her sister Nina Williams.
This is not what I thought this game was going to be.
Nina slaps her. Anna cries before Nina reveals she does have Anna's shoe. This will be important later. Heihachi gets a little more than he bargains for.
What is happening?
When Kazuya does indeed prove his worth by winning the tournament, but also takes the opportunity to dish out some just desserts. He takes Heihachi to a cliff, drops him off the side, then turns to the camera and smiles.
Oh, so it's like...
Mishima is dead. 2 years later, and the once banal
a karma, I guess? I don't know.
Zaibatsu has morphed into an active malevolence under Kazuya's leadership.
Okay.
Instead of simply being a humble mom-and-pop military-grade weapons manufacturer, the Zaibatsu expands to include genetic research and all-round bad bastard science. Kazuya begins to smuggle endangered species of animals for his scientists to rank by taste and pain tolerance. After knocking back a pint of white rhino tears, Kazuya announces the second King of Iron Fist tournament. The prize? $1 trillion. Damn. Now that's the kind of money that makes an elderly man climb back up a mountain he was thrown off. Once again, fighters from all around the world come together to compete. But Armor King never makes it because his armor is too heavy and sharp. Jun wants to arrest Kazuya for his animal crimes, but also wants to investigate the mysterious power she senses from him, which she knows she's not imagining because her father's ghost told her that the supernatural is real. Ghosts are always saying that, aren't they? She eventually confronts Kazuya.
This is the most confusing story ever.
She conceives a child with him, thanks to the magic of supernaturally good writing. Heihachi makes it to the final and confronts Kazuya, who unleashes the devil gene. But he's still not strong enough to defeat Heihachi because now that he has a child on the way, Kazuya feels conflicted. Heihachi wins the tournament and proves that caring about the lives of others makes you weak. He throws Kazuya into a volcano.
Why is everyone getting thrown off a cliff?
Both the volcano and Jun erupt in their own unique ways as Jin enters the world. Kazuya Mishima is dead. And it's for the best because just look at this disc. Tekken 2 is clearly for perverts.
3.
15 15 years later, and
Okay.
world peace has been achieved thanks to Heihachi's personal paramilitary organization called Tekken Force, which he created to protect and expand the Mishima Zaibatsu.
All
Think
right.
about that next time you want to criticize big business.
Chicken.
While the Tekken Force are excavating an Aztec temple for decorations to put in Heihachi's newest ensuite, they're wiped out by Ogre, a god of fighting that isn't an alien, that would be silly, but is an ancient demon that was created by aliens.
What
Once
the hell is...
awakened, he began
Okay, this is like so much for me. What the F is going on? There's so much happening right now. I'm not gonna remember any of this. I feel like once I start the game, I'm just not gonna remember any of this, guys.
begins to target fighters worldwide. Jin is now 15 years old and being raised by Jun, who
Okay,
senses
so that's
Ogre
his
is
son
on his
now.
way.
Okay.
In fairness, she was right the last time she had notions, so she tells Jin that should anything happen to her, he's to go to Heihachi.
Oh, she's gonna
Sure
die.
enough, Ogre shows up looking for trouble.
Yep.
Jin fights to protect Jun, but is knocked out. When he awakes, he sees his home has been burnt to the ground in a chip pan fire that Ogre started, and Jun is nowhere to be seen. An inconsolable Jin is overcome with revenge powers, and his inherited devil gene brands his left arm with an ancient symbol which happens to look very similar to what would have been considered a cool tribal tattoo in 1997.
Yeah,
Following
I bet
his
it
mother's
would.
advice, he seeks out Heihachi, who takes him in, trains him, and enrolls him at Mishima High School, where he meets Xiao Yu and her
Okay.
pet panda, Panda.
What the F is going?
just
Okay,
good
I don't
stuff,
know.
though.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna
4
ask.
years later, Heihachi
Damn.
announces the King of Iron Fist 3. His hope is that once all the world's strongest fighters are in one place, Ogre will be baited out. And he is. And
Okay.
he's defeated by Paul. Maybe they should have tried
the F is
injecting
Paul?
a rat with Paul's blood. Anyway,
Wait, Paul
come
was
on, give
the
it
guy
up
from
for
the beginning,
Paul.
right?
Cool of us. I mean,
That I said that
in
looked like,
fairness,
Paul's
defeating a
from
god of
JoJo.
fighting can't have been easy, so well done, mate. Only messing. That wasn't even Ogre's final form.
Of
Don't
course
you know
not.
he
Why would it?
absorbed
Why would it
Heihachi's
not?
fighting force? I guess
You look
it's
like
up
a
to the boy in
beetle.
the box to defeat the true Ogre. Nice work, Jin. Unfortunately, he is then gunned down and shot in the brains
What
by
the
the very man who created world peace, proving that you really can't trust anyone. Thankfully, Jin is so full of energy that his devil gene brings him back from the brink.
This is like
But
some
with
Devil May
wings.
Cry storyline.
Meanwhile, Brian Fury takes on a tank and wins.
Oh, I love his pants. Look at
Brian
the
used to
Majima
be a
jacket.
police detective, and
Snake
now he's a
skin.
violent maniac with no morals.
Oh,
What a
great.
journey. These men are dead.
4.
This is so
2
random.
years later,
Okay.
Heihachi and his scientists stir Ogre's blood and Heihachi's genome around in a cup, hoping that somehow this will grant him immortality.
You know what this is? I feel like it's a mix. I think this is why you guys were asking me to play this game. It's like a mix of Yakuza and Resident Evil together, like the whole silliness. And I guess it's also like a lot of Japanese action games are kind of like this, where they're extremely ridiculous for no reason. So I think that's why you guys want me to play this. You feel like I feel like I would like this.
The experiment fails because they're missing one thing, and
Yeah, what could that
honestly,
be?
You're not going to believe this, but the missing ingredient is the devil gene.
Wow.
Oh, man, if it had been anything else, they'd be fine, but Jin is still missing, and
Okay.
Kazuya was thrown into that volcano. No! Turns out his body is actually being kept in a fridge over at
Of
the
course
G
it wouldn't
Corporation
be,
lab.
you know,
So Heihachi sends
gone.
in the troops to pick it up, but they're beaten up by Kazuya, who was just getting up anyway. Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 in the hopes of luring out Jin and Kazuya, and baits them with the ultimate prize, total control of the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Okay.
During the tournament, Jin is captured by the Tekken Force, so the final comes down to Kazuya and Heihachi. Heihachi wins and shows Kazuya a chained up Jin. The devil in Kazuya comes out and explains that being dropped into the volcano caused Devil to split in half, and half of Devil stayed in Kazuya and half of the devil went into Jin. and
Okay.
is inside Jin now. And
Okay.
Heihachi goes, right, that makes sense. Yes, I see what you mean. Devil split in half when I threw you in that volcano, and half of it got into you, and the other half is in Jin. Gotcha. Devil then knocks out Heihachi.
I feel like I
and
shouldn't be
taunts
asking
Jin
questions
for
when I play this
unknown
game.
good reasons, which causes Jin to go all devil mode and beat up his dad and then his granddad until a vision of Jun tells him to chill out and he flies off again. Meanwhile, Nina Williams, who is supposedly Irish but never shows any evidence of it, finally
I think it's
embraces
just
the
that
ruse
she's white.
and begins taking sniper shots at British.
She looks
hostiles.
like Jill Valentine in
Elizabeth
Resident
II
Evil, like,
Is
6.
dead.
5,
Mere moments later, G-Corp helicopters swoop in and deploy Jack 4 robots. Heihachi
okay.
and Kazuya hold their own pretty well, considering they were just beaten up by Jin.
Yeah.
But Kazuya bounces and leaves Heihachi.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, right? This is a fighting game.
Heihachi
Everyone can
Mishima
heal quickly.
is dead.
For real
according
this
to
time?
Raven, anyway. And who's going to argue with a man who can stand on top of a fighting pit? Upside down, no less.
What the is this?
Mishima is dead.
Oh my god,
That's
I'm gonna
that
laugh
then.
my ass up
Wait,
with this game.
The Mishima Zaibatsu is still
bear can
going,
read?
but under a shadowy new CEO.
I have so many questions, but I feel like if I ask, they're not gonna be answered.
That's weird. They even announce a King of Iron Fist tournament.
Yeah, what's the prize this time?
Oh, right. The explosion that killed Heihachi
He's
caused
not dead.
his father, Jinpachi, to resurrect and
Oh.
retake control of the Zaibatsu. How?
What?
Well, the thing is, and I hope you're sitting down for this, a vengeful spirit has possessed Jinpachi's body and
Okay.
given it immense power.
Okay.
I know. Jinpachi was
What
the
the
original founder of the Mishima Zaibatsu,
Okay.
which made a
Yeah,
lot
that-
of money building military equipment during World War II for,
Oh. Oh.
look, it doesn't matter who for. The important thing is that at some point, Jinpachi decided that World War II was bad.
Okay,
and
yeah.
stopped supplying weapons to
I'm glad he realized
whoever.
it was bad, I guess.
Sensing weakness, his son Heihachi launched a coup, sealed Jinpachi away, and fired evil Cole McGrath, and
Is that Nathan Drake?
into space. In the Iron Fist finals, Devil Jin returns to defeat Jinpachi and becomes the new boss of the Mishima Zaibatsu. You really gotta wonder what the internal emails are like there.
What is going...
Jinpachi Mishima is dead.
Okay.
Also, Ganryu, who was in love with Michelle, has now fallen for her inexplicably identical adopted daughter, Julia. And Asuka Kazama is originally believed to be Jin's cousin, but
What?
supposedly
What?
it's more complicated than that.
Oh my
like
god.
so much of video
I've
games.
I've been on Harada's Twitter account. I will say the things that he tweets is pretty hilarious. Like he's tweeted some funny stuff. I do remember him tweeting recently something about like he doesn't understand Waffle House and like why people fight there. Because I think people were asking for like a stage in Tekken to be at Waffle House. And then I've also seen him tweet he would like, like Kiryu or Ichiban to be in Tekken, but he would have to talk to RGG, which I think would be really cool if they were in this. But I think it would be harder for Kiryu because again, he doesn't fight women. So, I don't know about Ichiban. I don't think he's opposed to fighting women.
In lore, this one's in the hands of the perverts now.
6,
Under
we're in
Jin's
6.
leadership, the Mishima Zaibatsu severed their national ties and used their newfound independence to become their own global superpower.
Okay.
He also immediately declares war on every other nation on Earth.
Yeah, sure,
even
this makes
Belgium,
sense.
Who, as far as I know, never did anything to anyone. Let me just check that actually, just to be sure. Oh, wowee.
What does this look like?
Jin's declaration is dragged mercilessly in the quote tweets, but no matter how well observed or funny the tweets are, they fail to stop war breaking out.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
who the hell's that
Kazuya
hot
has
guy?
taken
Who's
control of
that?
The world's other major conglomerate, G Corporation.
Okay.
Where he places a bounty on his son's head.
Okay.
Unfazed, Jin announces the King of Iron Fist tournament.
Of course they do.
The third King of Iron Fist tournament they've had this year so far. Enter
So
Lars
3
Alexanderson.
tournaments in a year.
Now,
Okay.
I
Who's
know
this?
you're looking at this guy and thinking, there's no way this guy matters, even if he does smack an oncoming rocket to one side. Well, he is a leader in the Tekken force who rebels after one too many war crimes, along with all the other soldiers who never thought killing civilians was something armies did. After a skirmish with G-Corp, he loses his memory.
Okay.
He then travels the world with Elisa, the So It's Come to This android, while hiding from the Mishima Zaibatsu manhunt and trying to recover his past. So, yeah, he's not that important. Oh, wait! He's actually the illegitimate son of Heihachi.
I have no idea what is happening. So, like, how many people are related in this? Oh my god.
Which means he is immediately promoted into the characters who matter.
Right, because he's an
Sorry,
illegitimate
Bruce.
son, yeah.
Maybe next time, eh? Oh, that's not fair. Tekken 6 did give Bruce something to do. He's a soldier fighting in
Cool.
the war.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect way to make sure you're remembered forever. Despite the war, audiences are still packing out wrestling shows, which begs the question, would people really still go to a wrestling match while their world collapsed around them?
Let me ask you guys that question. Would you go to, it doesn't even have to be a wrestling match, like any event, would you still go if the world was ending? I feel like most people would, because it's like the world's ending, who cares?
But Heihachi catches the bullet with his teeth because he's very strong.
Right.
Oh, Heihachi is still alive, by the way.
Yeah, of
Which
course. Like,
reminds
that
me,
makes sense that
I
he can
should have
catch
said
the bullet.
earlier, but there's another ancient evil under another temple because the Tekken series is always reinventing itself. This time it's called Azazel, and it might destroy the world at some point.
So it's an Egyptian
Best
god?
Get over there and sort that out.
What?
At the temple, Lars fights his half-brother Kazuya, then Azazel, then Elisa, then Jin, who quotes Nietzsche and admits he started the war to awaken Azazel and save the world because only someone with the devil gene can beat Azazel. And Lars says, "What the fuck are you talking about, Jin?"
How does that make any sense? You want to start a war just to bring out people to come fight, and you All right, so let me get this straight. So this guy started a war because he was trying to bring out another guy who had the devil gene to come help defeat this god. But it's like, how did you know this evil being, whatever, was coming out?
Billions are dead. And to avoid answering the question, Jin runs at Azazel's final form and explodes.
Right, of course.
Lars takes Elisa to Lee and drops her in for repairs. Jin
So is
Kazama
Jin dead?
is dead.
Dead?
And Law gives Paul and Steve the shits. Also, Brian finally gets some much needed character development when he throws a girder through a helicopter.
Nice.
Jin's war continues to rage. Azazel, the ultimate omelette, is dead and gone.
All right.
But the few eggs Jin cracked to make that omelette were nations and societies. And the eggs keep cracking even though the omelette is finished and eaten.
Right, yeah, sure.
An unnamed reporter whose wife and child were killed in the war begins working on an expose of the Mishima Zaibatsu and G Corporation, bringing an air of stone-faced seriousness to a story about ghosts, magic robots, and monsters under temples. Nina controls the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Is this the Scottish lady?
But Heihachi fights his way back into the big chair and takes the reins again.
I'm getting confused, like who's who again?
He knows that the public aren't too fond of the Zaibatsu ever since it started a war that engulfed the world in flames. So, to win back their favor, he hires Claudio, an exorcist
who's this
who
hot guy?
specializes in the devil.
Wait, is this the hot guy from the other game that was like holding up the glass? I don't know. They all look hot. I don't know.
Get back into the public's good graces by showing them that the boss of the company, which is at war with the company that started a world war, has devil horns. Very sad to see the same man who once created world peace lowered to petty tabloid tactics. He also announces the 4th King of Iron Fist tournament of that year because
we're still in the same year. Okay, yeah, sure.
Claudio senses something, but he's not sure what. Jin's alive,
Yeah, of
Lars
course.
brings him to Violet Systems, where Lee has been repairing Elisa. Lee explains that Heihachi only fathered Lars to prove that Kazuya inherited the devil gene from his mother Kazumi, and not him. Which really is the ultimate, he gets it from you, you know. Turns out Claudio
That makes
was
no
sensing
sense, but sure.
Akuma from Street Fighter. Do not spend even a second of your time thinking about what the implications of this reveal are.
Okay.
Please. Akuma shows up and says he promised Kazumi he would kill Heihachi if she failed to, and Heihachi responds by doing something no other Tekken character has ever done before, no matter how many times the opportunity presented itself. He says, "That doesn't make any sense." If that were
The first time that's been said in this series, I feel like.
true, why on earth would he only show up to do the job 40 years later?
Right.
But Akuma, who is no stranger to counters, replies with the frankly incredible, "Because I was waiting for you to get stronger."
Right, because that's the spirit of fighting games, right? You need to fight the strongest
They fight
person.
until a bunch of jackbots show up, so
Okay.
they fight those instead.
Okay.
Akuma defeats Heihachi, but not really, as stipulated in the Bandai Namco Capcom IP Rules and Regulations contract. Heihachi declares himself dead so that he can work in secret while Akuma travels to
Right, 'cause
Corporation's
that makes
Millennium
sense,
Tower to
sure.
kill Kazuya. Heihachi broadcasts
Oh,
their
is that
fight
what he
to the
looks like
world
now?
so everyone can get a right good look at the Devil Gene in action.
Damn, you
Then
look
uses
hot.
an orbital laser to blow up the tower. Kazuya survives and
yeah.
blows up the satellite, which
Okay.
then blows up a town.
What?
The public immediately forget about the devil Kazuya and go back to hating the Mishima Zaibatsu. Gotta say, the public
I
in
would be
Tekken
more worried
are
about the
very
devil that's
fickle.
flying
The
around.
reporter informs Heihachi about the big expose he's been writing, and to his surprise, he gets invited over to hear the real goss.
Okay.
Heihachi tells him, "Look, Kazumi possessed the devil gene, so I had to kill her. It was self-defense. I also had to throw our 5-year-old son off a cliff to see if he had inherited the devil gene,
Right.
again, in self-defense. He's sorry he didn't kill Kazuya there and then, and takes full responsibility for any and all subsequent apocalypses that his family may have caused."
Okay, so this guy 40 years later, or whatever the hell they said, he's now taking responsibility for what he's done. I feel like if he didn't throw him off the cliff, this still would not happen. I know they're saying like, oh, it's the devil gene, that's why it's like that. But like, you ever think maybe he's pissed off his dad threw him off the cliff? I would be pissed off if my dad threw me off the cliff, you know, for no reason. You're 5 years old and you have no idea what's going on. And he also killed your mother. Yeah, I think I'd be kind of pissed off about that.
Heihachi and Kazuya have their final battle in a volcano to keep their arms warm.
Right.
Kazuya wins by blowing up Heihachi's heart and
Okay.
tossing his body into the volcano.
Of course,
Then
why
Akuma
not?
appears for a fight out of contractual obligation. Neither is seen victorious because of the aforementioned contracts.
Right.
Heihachi Mishima is dead.
Is he
But
though?
no news organization runs the story because, well, it's a bit boy who cried wolf at this stage, isn't it?
Right, because how many times
Heihachi
he's
dead,
died
yeah?
and thrown
Yeah,
off a
sure
cliff
so.
and
You know who broke that
exploded
story
and
the last
went through a
time?
volcano. I don't
Heihachi.
know.
Jin chooses a fine time to wake up and joins Lars, Elisa, and Lee on a rooftop. Jin
Okay.
looks at the war, his war, and nobly concedes that he should take responsibility for it. And he's going to do that by killing Kazuya. The reporter publishes his expose, but it
This
gains
is so
little traction as
stupid.
a rival news outlet releases a "Which The Office GIF Are You" quiz on the same day. Also, Brian throws another girder through.
Is this going to be his thing where he
another-
throws shit?
Great.
I'm
And
just going to
that's your
assume that's what
cliffhanger for
happened.
Tekken 8. Do you want to see Jin free the world from Kazuya's forever
Okay,
war?
okay.
Do you want Claudio to sense another major Capcom character?
I don't know what I
Let me
want
know
from
in the
this.
comments.
Okay, so that was the summary of the Tekken series. I'm gonna be completely honest, I have no idea what is going on still. Even though this whole video explained everything, I still don't understand. All I know is, I think the best way to summarize Tekken is terrible dads. Because that's what it seems like. Everybody's just getting thrown off a cliff by their dad. And then the son's throwing the dad off the cliff, and then they're just coming back to life. That's kind of like what I've gathered from this. Alright, so that video was from the Infinite Review. If you guys would like to check out their video, I'll leave a link in the descriptions. Please go watch it. That was really great. Great explanation, very hilarious, and very well done edited and stuff like that. There's another Tekken video I'm gonna react to. I feel like I'm gonna do it in another video because this one was kind of long. But we're also gonna take a look at the trailer for Tekken 8 to just, again, this is just so I can get into it and understand it more. Even though I feel like this is not helping, I don't know what's going on. Just, there's a war happening. The devil gene, dads blaming their sons for something they didn't do, like they're just born with it. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is this? Anyway, that's gonna be it from me. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've never played Tekken. Let me know what you think, because honestly, I don't know what to think about this. And if you have played Tekken, describe this series in like one sentence, please. I would love to know what everyone has, because I was reading the comments on this video and a lot of people were confused. They're like, I'm a fan of Tekken and I still don't know what's going on. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button, because I will be starting Tekken 8 very soon. I don't know, I'll just go into it with an open mind and just expect somebody to get thrown off a cliff. That's what I'm gonna assume is gonna happen. People faking their deaths too. So that's just what I'm gonna assume. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!